Hey, here we are. Well, live and in concert, and my laptop is making noise. Gotta go all the way down, turn it off. Okay, sound is off. Hey, looking good today. New shirt, blue shirt. Better than the black shirt, I guess. It's time to haul out the old summer clothes as we head into another hot summer. The weather lately here on the East Coast, New Jersey, New York City, very beautiful weather. Good sleeping weather, as they say, back in the Midwest, where you have, temperatures in the 50s, 60s. You can have all the windows open. No lantern flies infestations yet. So you can enjoy having the windows open. Now in a month, that will probably all change, as it's going to be 100 and 110 degrees. And the flies are going to try to get into your apartment. And once you're in your apartment, they start eating your plants and reproducing and climbing on your legs and making nests in your hair. Welcome to the show. This is Boles TV. It's BOLES.TV. It's Boles Television. So, last time we were together, we finished up talking about some AI art and how you create NFTs based on the Dream.ai website. And we'll check out and see what Dream AI, the Wombo people, bring to a Discord server. But first, we'll do a little chatting about some interesting things that are up and coming in the world and swirling all around us. So we were recently interested to learn that in Jersey City, for rentals, the city, about a year ago, kind of in the middle of the COVID lockdown, changed how renters were to be charged for water and trash. And trash is a big, stinky, awful problem for any city, especially big urban cores, where people tend to not really pay attention to how the trash is being taken away. And there's, usually one day a week where the trash people come. And even though we're way up in the air, they, take the trash, and the smell is just, I guess, the smell of death. Terrible, terrible stench. And almost every day is trash day in a big city, so you're going to smell that deathly smell as the garbage is removed at least once a day, and it hangs around, that smell, 2, 3, 4 hours. So the city used to combine, when they were charging landlords, water and trash, and they were bound together as one fee, sanitation fee, whatever. And now that a lot of cities have gone to, separate carting for the removal of trash, I guess the city decided, well, we're going to make it a little bit cheaper for landlords to deal with, water, which is very expensive, and just have the residents, the good people, pay a special hauling fee for their trash removal every month. So about a year ago, in all new leases and contracts, it's required now by the city to collect $12.50 from each apartment. Not per person, but per apartment. And that's a reasonable fee for getting rid of your stinky garbage every month. But it's just interesting that they're now putting that fee on the backs of residents, where it used to be bundled invisibly with regular carting. Excuse me. And one thing that I was fascinated to learn in my research on this topic, like what is that $12.50 fee? Is that water for landlords of apartments, pretty much, don't charge, not allowed to charge, individual residents for water. It's just something that has to be included in the price of rent. There's no individual water meter per apartment. Now, some landlords want that because there are people who mess around with their water. Like if they've been thrown out of their apartment, they're getting evicted. There are some people who are nasty and who will just turn on every faucet and shower and bathtub in their apartment and let it run 24 hours a day to eventually cost the landlord that they no longer like a lot of money. And since water is only billed like every 3 months, it's sort of hard to pin down who's messing with you and the water if you have a lot of turnover in your building. But that's, I guess, an assumed risk that landlords in big cities take. And I was wondering, I wonder why they individually, meter us for gas, electric, but not for water. And now they're sort of flat feeing us for garbage. And in my research, I thought it was very interesting to learn that people who don't have a lot of money tend to want to save money in drastic and sometimes dangerous ways. Now, if you've ever visited someone who lives in like a housing project or some kind of sustained supported living, where their rent is reduced, but they are responsible for the electricity, you'll find that people who live there generally do not ever turn the lights on unless they absolutely have to. They keep the windows open, they maybe watch television, but if you don't need a light on, they have them all off, which is understandable. They don't want electricity, they don't want to pay for it, they don't want an AC window air conditioner. They're trying to keep their monthly nut reduced and down as small as possible. Okay, that makes sense. And a lot of times when you go into, these apartments, if it's a community living kind of thing, the first thing you have to do is you walk into an apartment, with the resident answering the door. And the first thing you do is you have to say lights, because their entire apartment is dark. And there are some who will fight you, say, I don't want to turn on my lights. You use your flashlight. It's insanity. So knowing that when people are charged individually, like for electricity that's metered, the reason that cities do not allow landlords, houses are different, single-family homes, to not charge for water is that if people had to pay for the water they were using, they would not use the water very much, okay? They would not clean their apartments. They would not shower very often. Water is, I guess, a necessity of life in many ways that I guess electricity is not necessarily life-sustaining in the same way that water is. And that made a lot of sense because the people who are going to be stingy with their electricity bill are going to be stingy with water. Don't flush the toilet, just leave all the poop in there for 3 days and then we'll flush. Every 3 days we'll flush the toilet, which will cause terrible trouble. Or, I don't want to take a shower this week, I'll take a shower in 4 weeks when I feel like it, because I want to save money on my water. Well, I'm not going to cook or clean or wash my dishes or run a dishwasher if I have it because I don't want to be charged for the water. And the other side of that is that people will waste water. And I guess these big cities think it's better for the health of the city to have people using a lot of water than to make them pay for it where they know they will self-restrict and will have an unhealthy, unsafe city. So that's a very interesting take that actually makes a lot of sense to me. Then there are some people who, live in a house. They pay for the water themselves, and they don't want to flush the toilet. They don't want you to take 2 or 3 showers a week because they don't want to pay for it. So this is the interesting conundrum of trying to live a human life and trying to figure out where these new rules and laws come from. And I remember in one place we used to live, the landlord was going into every apartment to see if there was running water from somewhere, because he said his water bill was very high. He said usually for a building with 6 apartments, it was $13,000 every 3 months. And the most recent one, it had doubled to $26,000. And that was a big problem because he didn't want to pay. And he was trying to figure out, if people were messing with him or if there was a leak somewhere, somebody's toilet was, constantly running, or if there was a leak in the ground, which probably is not what was going on because in this city, the ground where we lived was bedrock. So it's not like something could necessarily break because everything around it is very hard and not going to break. And I said to him as he was in our apartment seeing if our toilet was running, and it wasn't, you have to think back to who doesn't like you, who was living here in the 3 months that this was tallied up. And if it was an eviction or if they're not happy, I think you should probably think that they did something to the water, like running every faucet they had for 24 hours a day until they left. And then once they leave and they turn everything off and give the keys back or whatever, they've been evicted, they've already done the damage. They've already had their revenge. So that's another assumed risk that these landlords have to take. Now, if the tenant was paying for that water that they were wasting to try to pay you back, that would be a different story. It wouldn't happen because they don't want to pay for it. But as long as the landlord is paying for it, as long as it's part of the rent, then we'll just run every faucet we have until forever. And that's why there used to be a time when you had an apartment and the water came out freely. Now they have all these filters and these aerators and the water pressure. It's kind of what Donald Trump talked about. Everybody made fun of him. Oh, the toilets don't flush like they used to. Well, neither does the shower as it used to, and neither does the water pressure in your kitchen sink work the same way because everybody's trying to rightly save money and preserve, ration water because we're running out of this stuff. But Trump is right about that. That you used to have very good water flow, and not so much anymore on purpose. It's designed that way. So, hey, what else is in the news? Lots of very strange and interesting things going on in this world. And let me see if I can find one for you. Oh, we have to talk about ChatGPT. That will be very interesting. We have so many things coming up. But we'll start with this, because this is fresh content. This just popped up seconds before we went live with you here. And it's PR stuff, but this is very interesting, and it gives you lots of stories to tell. How did cell phone usage change from 2022 to 2023? Okay, that's 1 year. Now, maybe 20 years ago, I was teaching at New Jersey Institute of Technology, NJIT. It's a nerd school. That's what the students call themselves. That's not what I called my students. Very smart, technical, computer people, genius, and well-rounded. They take theater classes, and they act in plays, and they sing and dance, and they can do everything. They're multi-talented. They are a multi-threat in the multiverse. And one of the theater teachers, this was 16, 20 years ago, when cell phones were just starting to really kind of be used as an everyday device. And she asked her theater students, I'm just curious. And she was like, my age. And we were raised no phones. We had, regular phones, but never a cell phone. And she said, how many of you sleep with your cell phones? And when she told me that, I laughed and laughed. I said, you got to be kidding. Who would sleep with their cell phone? And she was very specific when she asked them that. She didn't, not near you, not like on your bedstand, but how many of you, she asked her class, sleep with your cell phone by your pillow? On your actual bed, in bed with you. And she said about 80% of her students 20 years ago raised their hands and said, yeah, I do. I sleep with my cell phone. I laughed again because I didn't believe her. And she said, well, why don't you ask your class? And I said, okay, I will. And I did, and she was right. I couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe it. I don't know why she asked. I think she was curious because she finds 20 years ago people were attached to their cell phones, looking at their cell phones, living life through a screen. So that was a big lesson for me that, generations are interesting things. People of one generation do not necessarily always understand what's going on with another generation. And it becomes this vicious cycle of misunderstanding and mistrust. And how crazy are you? Well, you're old. Well, you're a nerd. Well, you're dumb. And it goes around and around and around in a circle. So you can't make fun of people who are just doing what they think they know how to do, which is, I have this new cell phone. It's how I connect with my friends and my family, and this is how I stay in touch, and I want it with me at all times. Now, before the cell phone, you had the pager that would, either buzz or make a noise, and then you'd have to find a phone to make the call back. And there was never a guarantee that the page, the message that was sent, was ever received. So you could ignore a page for a few days, or a few hours, or a few minutes if you wanted to. Now, with the cell phone, people kind of tend to know, an SMS, if you're there or not, or ignoring people. And the old people like me and my friend who taught there, we don't take our cell phones everywhere with us. We do not sleep with our cell phones. But that doesn't mean other people don't. That doesn't mean, I guess, some think that we should. Apple has this, screen time thing that I immediately turned off because I do use my phone a lot. I'm always checking information and interesting things to chat about with you here, and checking the news and what's going on in the world. And I don't want Apple looking over my shoulder saying, oh my gosh, you were reading the news for 2 hours today. Yesterday you read it for 3 hours. Your trending is bad. So I turned that off. But I guess for some people, they want to know if it comes to, their kids or family or friends using too much screen time. I've now come to the conclusion that there's no such thing as too much screen time. So this arrived in my mailbox today. How did cell phone usage change from 2022 to 23? So we're not talking about 20 years ago. We're talking about from last year to this year. How often do we check our phones per day? The light color is 2022. The darker color, purple, is 20 and 23. How often do we check our phones per day? 344 times in 20 and 22. Now, isn't that interesting? Today, 144 times per day. Now, is that pandemic related? People isolated at home, not speaking to anyone except on their phones? Probably. Interesting, right? What else is going on? Well, let's check and see. Americans check their phones within the first 10 minutes of waking up. 10% more of us now in 20 and 23 check our phones within 10 minutes of waking up. Now, I don't know if that's good or bad or dumb, but it's very interesting and effective. Because a lot of us do. What did I miss? I'm not sleeping with my cell phone on my pillow. But maybe there was an important call that I missed. I don't know. Americans feel uneasy leaving their phone at home. Or in 2022 than 2023, a 3% decline. Check their phones within 5 minutes of receiving a notification. Huh? Now that's interesting, right? How many do it? About the same from last year to this year. How many people use their phones in the old toilet? Well, 3% increase this year. Texted someone who is in the same room as them. Very interesting. Down 0.7. Slept with their phone at night. About the same. Consider themselves addicted to their phones. 5% increase this year. Never gone longer than 24 hours without their cell phone. About the same. Feel a sense of panic or anxiety when their cell phone battery goes below 20%. Down almost 5%. That's good. But see, that's technology. The battery technology is much better now than it was 3 years ago. Use or look at their phone on a date, down 5.5%. That's good because there's nothing more annoying than, being out with, a group is different. But if you're one-on-one going to lunch and the person you're speaking to is always on their phone or checking their phone or replying or texting, or why have lunch? Why don't we just agree to turn off our phones and put them in our pockets for an hour? Not going to happen. Use or look at their phone while driving. Dangerous. That's down in 2023 by 14%. That is very good news for the rest of us. Here are some more statistics about America's cell phone usage. Well, I guess it's the same thing, but they put it in a different graphic. From reviews.org. Down 27% looking at their phone while driving. That's very good. So this is only for 20 and 23, and 20 and 22 is not included in this data. So that's very interesting information that I sort of, in an odd way, love in probably the most romantic possible way. Cell phones are terrific, and they're important, and they make a lot of sense for us. Now, here's something else that's coming up right now. The Cube in Astor Place. The Astor Place Cube. It's a great big monolithic black cube. Astor Place in Greenwich Village in New York City. And the New York Times has an article about it. Now, this is what's interesting about the New York Times. They used to entice you and education people by giving them a deep discount of about $1 a week, $4 a month, to read the New York Times. Just the basic New York Times. And other places like Omaha, the Omaha World Herald at omaha.com, they want $20 a month to read, regurgitated and rephrased and repolluted, all my opinion, news that they bring in from elsewhere to try to enhance their daily informational share. It didn't used to be that way, but small town newspapers are suffering, and they try to beat you not with a subscription, but with advertising and a subscription. So it's not that your page that you're trying to read is filled with ads, but they're also charging you $20 a month. So the New York Times is very smart to say, hey, let's have not as much advertising. Let's lower our subscription price for some people to $1 a week, $52 a year. And that we'll make everything better, and we can charge a higher price for the same amount of fewer ads that we are showing because we have a lot of subscribers. And it's worked. They found terrific success. And the last time I renewed my New York Times subscription, because, they give you a deal, but it only lasts for 6 months or a year, and then, the price goes up to $20 a month, whatever. And then you have to call in and negotiate, and you just have to say cancel, cancel, cancel to everything they say until finally they, offer to give you the same price that you've always had, which is $1 a week. But who wants to go through that hassle every 6 months of arguing with the New York Times? So the last time I did this, I had a very nice woman, and I said, am I going to have to go through this again with you? Not you, but again. And she said, no, this is the new permanent pricing for your category, education. It's $1 a week for the rest of your life. And I knew that wasn't going to probably be true because nothing's good, especially in the big city, for life. But it turned out that what she told me was as accurate as I could expect, which was like about a year, maybe a year and a half, where the $1 a week price was being honored. So I was very happy to read the New York Times every day. And then in the last month or so, I started noticing that when you'd log in to the New York Times website, they would say, hey, I almost want to log out and see if I can get it again. Let me see if I can. Well, here you go. Okay, so I'm not going to log out because I don't think I'm going to get it. Well, I will log out. We'll see what happens. So here we go. So this is the login, right? If you're not logged in, you get this. Unlimited access for $1 a week, $4 every week for the first year, okay? And then they try to bump you up to, what is it, $6? 6 times 4 is, what, $25 a month, $6.25 a week, $100, whatever. So you log in, right? Yes. And this is the terrible, rotten page. Because it used to be you go to the New York Times, you're not logged in, because if you close your browser every day and you log back in, you have to log back in. And so you click log in and you read the page. Now they have this. If you're at the $1 a week. Upgrade to get all of the New York Times. All access, everything the Times offers, all in one subscription. And you think, wait a minute, I thought I already had that. I'm paying $1 a week. I thought that was the best possible deal. But it looks like they've, broken apart their website. So you're only getting the news. So now they want to charge me, if I upgrade, $1.50 a week. Billed as $6 every 4 weeks, but only for the first 6 months. Not a year, not $4 a month for a year. Now they want $6 every 4 weeks for 6 months. And this is very annoying because you get this every time you log in. What do you get? News. I thought we already had the news. Engage with reporting, including culture coverage and analysis. I don't care. I think that's like the New York Times review of books. I don't care about having that. Games, unwind with Spelling Bee, Wordle, and the crossword and more. I don't care about any of that either. Cooking, enjoy delicious recipes, advice and inspiration daily. I'm not interested in that either. Wirecutter. Choose products confidently with reviews and real-world testing. I'm not interested in that either. The Athletic. Follow in-depth, personalized coverage of your favorite sports. The New York Yankees and the New York Giants are everywhere all day. I don't need that from the New York Times. Upgrade now. You can cancel or pause at any time. And then you have to scroll all the way to the bottom and say, continue on to my news article. I'm not interested in upgrading. Okay, so I click on that. And then what I showed you before is you get that box. Let me try reloading the page. That then asks you again, hey, do you want to upgrade? We can offer you Wordle for an extra 50 cents. No, I don't want it. So here we go. The Astor Place Cube is gone, but it shall spin again. The Astor Place Cube, which is a giant cube that spins, or used to spin, has been stationary since 2021, is missing because it's gone to Connecticut to be refurbished. This is the second time it's been refurbished. This is what the cube looks like. And it's $100,000 to fix the cube and to make it spin again. And this is the same company, I guess, that fixed the cube when it stopped spinning 10, 20 years ago. And the $100,000 is being paid for by the family, the foundation of the creator of the Astor Place Cube. And as you can see, this is right in the middle of Greenwich Village. It's a beautiful, wondrous thing. And I remember spinning the cube. It's very heavy. Sort of, you wonder if it's a little dangerous. But so far, no, it's okay. The cube is leaking, I guess. Or it rains on the cube, and then the rain gets in the cube and rusts the cube from the inside out, right? And then it stopped spinning. And I guess the joke is it's drunk NYU students who go and spin the cube continuously, and they're the ones who are breaking the cube. So they're bringing back the cube. People notice when the cube stopped twirling, and not just drunk NYU students. The spinning mechanism had separated from the base. An inspection had found a few small holes in the cube's core 10 steel skin. So the cube is being fixed, and it will come back, which is terrific. And what's so fun about the cube is, we can't play this. Not play. What's so fun about the cube is there's this wonderful video. And when did this go up? 9 years ago, this has been online. And it's so terrifically funny. Dave, I'll put this link on our Discord channel. Dave is a creative writer who lives inside the iconic Astor Place Cube in New York City. The cube's 8x8 panels add up to 64 square feet, which adds up to 512 cubic feet. For Dave, who is 5'8", that is plenty of space to move around, write, cook, and sleep, work out, and even play the guitar. Dave uses a bicycle generator to power up the lights and a handful of electronic gadgets. Now, I can't show you this video because I'll get in trouble because you're not allowed to, show things. But it's a terrific, hilarious video where they go inside the tube to show how he lives in this tube. It's not a tube, it's a cube, right? I'm flashing back. I wish I could show it to you right now. I guess if you do this, you can kind of see inside the interviews inside the cube. And then, the drunk kids spin while he's in the cube and how he gets in and out of the cube, and he lives there rent-free. And it's all a big joke. Nobody lives in the cube. But people see this YouTube video, Man in a Cube, and they think he's living in the cube. It's absolutely geniusly brilliantly done. And what's so great about it is how they recreated this cube, how they reimagined this cube and what it would look like inside with these dimensions if someone had decorated the cube on the inside and decided to live there. It's absolutely delightful. And it's 3 minutes. It's a 3-minute video. And I just can't get over how absolutely, completely wonderful it is. This is a little sneak preview of what it looks like inside the cube. And this is a set. This is a set that they designed. He generates, as you can see, generates his own power inside the Astor Place Cube. Made a little shelf. Has another seat for company. Sound deadening because the sounds of New York is a very loud place. Oh my gosh. When you think of inspiration and creativity and somebody who walks by that cube and says, why don't I just go live in there rent free? And then you make a video out of it. It's hilariously terrific. Now we're going to take another look. Just to remind you, this is what we did last time we were together. We made this NFT, Cat in the Moon, and we made it on the Dream.ai is the website, and Wombo is the name of the company. And you can create images on the website. Well, Wombo is also on Discord, which is where we are. You've seen the link in our chat. So let me call up Discord. That's it, okay. And we will take a look at the Wombo bot. They call it the Wombot. That does more than just create images that you see on the Dream.ai website. I know this sounds confusing, especially if maybe you're not a technical person, but that's okay. We're working on this together. Something's beeping at me. I don't know why. I don't know what. Okay, we're all right. So, as an experiment to prepare for this conversation with you, I typed to the Wombot bot, and you can go do this yourself. You go right to our Discord server and go play with this. Show me a Wombot. What is a Wombot? Because I want to know what the AI art generator thinks of it as itself. And this is what? Some kind of camera with a face in it? I think it's hilarious. So this is how you do an interaction with a Discord bot. You use things called a slash command. Now, if you have a lot of bots on a server or your personal server, then they may be shared commands like //settings tends to be a common denominator among more than one Discord server. So what do? How do you get past that? It's very simple. You just click on the icon of who you want to communicate with, and then it will pop up the reasonable or unreasonable answers. So we start with this // whoops, just one // This is /info for Midjourney, /imagine for Midjourney to create an image. And here are some of the, you can bump a server by typing /bump. So we're going to go over here because these are the bots we have on our server. And we go all the way down to the bottom for Wombot. Okay. So clicking on Wombot brings up the specific / commands for our Dream.ai Wombot bot on our Boles TV Discord server. So that we have blend feedback, we have chat, you can chat with the Wombot, you can dream. Now, Midjourney, you go / type imagine, enter, and then you fill out the prompt. With the Wombot, it's not / imagine. They have used / dream, which makes perfect sense. You're dreaming up an image. You're asking the AI bot to dream for you. And their website is what, my friend, is dream.ai. So it makes absolute perfect sense. The / dream would be the key to getting an image. And we're going to do an image. And something that you can edit an image, which you cannot do with Midjourney. It will create an emoji for you, which we will do together. You can get info about the shard, the bot shard. Now, people laugh because they think you're saying, shart, which is like a combination of the S word and fart, right? Hey, we may have all been there. Not saying anything specific, but a shard is like a piece of a server. And your shard is either up or down, or operating perfectly or inoperable. So sometimes with these bots, you need to check on your shard. So here we go. So we will try the dream command. So I'll click on this, and it types dream for me, and my prompt is what? What do we want the Dream AI bot to choose for us? I believe they use Stable Diffusion. So I have to think of something creative now. An Eskimo Cat. I like combining two different ideas and trying to blend them together and see how the AI will choose to present those images to me. So I will type Eskimo Cat, right? And there are 9 other things you can add to this. We're not going to add anything because that complicates things. And because this is Stable Diffusion, with Midjourney, you type it in and go. With Stable Diffusion, how many versions do you want? How many workers do you want working on it? What size do you want? What resolution do you need? I just want to type and go. So we're going to do that. Now you click the Enter key. Hiya! And now the dream is being generated. Our aliens are hard at work. And this can take, a minute, 2 minutes, 2 seconds, 10 seconds. You never know with these bots. It all depends on how busy they are. And then we'll see what we can do with this. There we go. Okay, Eskimo Cat. Realistic version to style. Okay, now, for me, this is not interesting. This is a cat wearing a hood. It can do better than that, I guarantee you. So here are our options. We can get rid of this, trash it, which I never do. We can download the image because we love it so much. We're not doing that. We can regenerate, probably what we'll do. We can edit it, like if you want to change color, change the prompt, say no hood, smaller cat ears. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't find editing to be very effective, but what do I know? Make variations. Now that will just take this image and just make slightly different versions of it, maybe 4. But I don't like this image at all. So I'm going to click on regenerate, which I hope means just do it all over again and be more creative this time. We'll see what happens. And some people ask, why do you need more than one AI bot? There's OpenAI with DALL-E, there's Dream AI, there's Crayon, there's Night Cafe, there's Stable Diffusion. Okay, Eskimo Cat. This is even worse than the first one. Click on it, get a little bigger. How is this an Eskimo cat? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. It's a white cat with orange spots. This is worse. I'm regenerating again. This is what you have to do with these bots. They don't understand. Sometimes you have to edit. Sometimes you just start all over again. You don't get down about it. Okay, at least we have a little bit of snow. Eskimo Cat. Now, Midjourney is very good about it. If you say cat, you mean one. If you say cats with an S, cats, they give you more than one cat. Sometimes 2, sometimes 50. But if it's singular, you get 1. Why are they giving me 2 cats? I don't know. Are there 2 cat bodies? It looks like there's 1 cat body and a cat head on top of the cat. These AI bots are not all created perfectly the same. There can be frustration in dealing with these bots, and you may feel my rising frustration. Okay, this is pretty much the same image, but they got rid of the head. Is this an Eskimo cat? No. Now, these little things up here on the ears are kind of cute. It's maybe getting there. Now, Midjourney, when you do these prompts, you get 4 images that you can pick from to make them a little bit larger, to redo them. With this Wombot, it looks like we're doing, regenerate, it looks like we're doing 1 image per shot. And maybe I should just, with this next one, try to edit it a little bit more. You know, Midjourney is great because you just say a couple of words and it just goes and makes weird things happen really fast. Whereas this, I'm going to show you Midjourney right now. We'll go Midjourney right now. I'm going to type imagine because now I've interested myself in this. Imagine, yes, make sure it's this one, Eskimo Cat. Yeah. And this is the slow version. I'm not in fast mode. Hey, it's Jenna Marie, sweetheart. Hello, Jenna Marie, sweetheart. It may not be an Eskimo cat, but they're all darlings. Well, that's true, but we're hoping to get some kind of Eskimo feel. I don't know. The Eskimo pie cat would be interesting, right? Oh, the ice cream cat. Oh, that might be my next one. I'm going to write that down. Eskimo pie cat. Yeah. Well, I should have gone to fast mode. We're going to do that right now. I'm going to go into fast. I feel a little bit bad because I'm not giving the Wombot all of my attention, but my first love in AI art is Midjourney, without any question whatsoever. So while we're waiting for that first one, because we're in relax mode, I'm going to go imagine again. Okay. Hey, there's Jenna Marie again. Hi. Yes, you're working hard on Eskimo Cat. Good luck. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you so much. I hope you're having a good day. Thank you for being here. Prompt is Eskimo pie cat. Boom. And while that's processing, hopefully our first Eskimo cat will come up. Now, we're getting hoods again, but I can tell you right now, an Eskimo cat in a hood with Midjourney is going to be cuter than a cat in an Eskimo hood with Wombot. I guarantee it. So it's slowly, 62% is slowly coming into being, into realization. Are these going to be real cats, drawn cats, art cats? Well, you have 4 versions. You can pick what you like. So we're still waiting, and then this is going to, when this gets to 100%, it's going to jump down to the bottom. Now, the reason I already like this is because it's not just a cat wearing a hood. It's a cat in an Eskimo outfit, right? Here's our Eskimo pie cat. It's missing the joke already. So I will click on this to get a little bit bigger view. So these are our Eskimo cats. What can I say? It's 100% darling, funny, cute. I'm going to put these online. Oh, you can't see that very well. I'm going to put these online as fast as I can later today. So I'm going to upgrade, upscale. I call it updoot. That's probably very tasteless. I'm updooting these 4 Eskimo cats. Oh, I just did the Eskimo pie cats. Now see, it's missing the joke on the Eskimo pie, the ice cream part of it. So these are just like straight Eskimo cats. But that's okay. They're still really super cute. Darling, Jenna Marie Sweetheart says. I know, I'm so happy. They're much better than the Dream AI, which I don't like saying because I'm sure it hurts their feelings. So these are the original Eskimo. I'm going to update these 2. So when you click regenerate, Midjourney immediately now, this is a new change that I don't like either, comes up and says, what do you want us to change about the prompt? Because we gave you 4 really good results. And now you want us to redo it. Why? And the answer is because I want to see another version. Use a different seed. So these are the 4. These are the other 4. And I clicked update, upscale. And so here is one of those delicious cats, Eskimo Cat. And I'm going to put these on our Mastodon account later this afternoon. And you can click on this to make variations, which will give you very slight variations on this one image, which I don't need to do because I don't want variations. Now, when I'm like creating logos and stuff, and I want a variation that like changes little tiny things, that's when I do variations because that's very helpful. And then I run a lot of variations. This also is an Eskimo Cat, appears to be in some kind of rainstorm or very droopy and wet. This is a white cat. This does not say Eskimo Cat to me. That's a failure. This Eskimo Cat, okay, I'll buy it. It's in a not just a hoodie, but you can see the whole coat. This expression is deliciously delightful. And if you know Persian cats, that's exactly how they behave. They don't want to be here. They don't want to have a hood on. It's hurting their ears. And here the ears are out. Now this is more drawing than real cat, but it's still absolutely deliciously darling, and the whiskers are also being taken care of. Here's another Eskimo Cat, a little calmer, of course, not a Persian. The ears are out. Maybe that makes a difference. Delightful, beautiful face. Cutest thing you'll ever see. Oh, there's Jenna Marie again. Love the expression, but the colorful coat cat is perfect. Okay. I like these other ones because the cat face is a little more real. But it's all art. None of it's real. It's all AI. It's all imagined. But I like the whole thing. The whole parka. But I'm going to work on trying to get that Eskimo pie joke to work. Here are 4 more. So because I'm going to work on this afternoon, I'm just going to hit these so I get the larger version. Redo the Eskimo Cat. Yes, please. And then here, they're all running now. You can see it moves when you're using fast hours, you get very fast results. As you can see, it's almost instantaneous. Jan Marie says, we'll respect each other's preferences. That, I know better. We do not respect my preferences. We respect Jana's preferences. So her cat is the number 1 cat. My cats. Okay. Just kidding, baby. Love this cat. Now, this is a drawn cat. This is not a real cat. Perfect answer. Thank you so much. But when we post this later on Mastodon, we will have the colorful cat. That I guarantee you. That cannot be escaped. Can't. This is darling too. Oh, this makes me sad. And I like how so many of these cats are white. It's very interesting. Or this is just the plain Eskimo cat. Oh, This is the Eskimo Pie Cats. They just showed up. The upgrade, update. So this, we're just upgrading all of these. You'll see them later on our Mastodon account. Oh, we have more color here. Jana Marie will appreciate the color. And now I've been irresponsible because I've given all this attention to Midjourney because I was getting frustrated. Here we're back to Dream AI. We're back to the Wombot. Now we'll just try a quick little edit here. Edit the dream. A little hard for you to see. This form will be submitted to Wombot. Do not share password. How would you like the image to be edited? Example, change background color to red. Let's see. I'll say add snow, mittens, snowshoes, and a fire torch. Now we'll see if it will do all of that. So I'm telling it, I'm telling Wombo, I'm not happy with this cat. I don't like this cat. I want an Eskimo cat like Midjourney gave me. So I was more specific. And some bots need very specific commands, art inspirations, or you get, this for an Eskimo cat. Not a lot of fun. Not the greatest type of cat ever possible. So it's generating, editing. Our aliens are hard at work, so we don't have to. Okay, so this is what I asked the bot to do. I said, add snow, mittens, snowshoes, and a fire torch. Okay, so this was the original. This is the edit, which I do kind of like better than this. I find it a little more effective. The bokeh effect here I like, being out of focus. So here it is more in focus with, I guess, the town. The fire is sort of burning the cat, but at least something's going on. It's interesting. Not really a fire torch. No snowshoes. I don't see mittens. The cat's fur appears to be on fire. No snowshoes, but we do have some snow. Yeah, that didn't really go very well. We'll edit it one more time. We'll just pick one thing. We'll say a snow shovel. I have to get this fixed so you can see these prompts with me next time. Because we're just getting started. We haven't even started our chat interface yet with Dream AI/Wombot, which can be frustrating, but that's what we're doing. We're exploring together. We're finding things to do together. And so far, this is okay. So they got rid of the cat. Just a snow shovel. Okay, now I have to go one more time. So I'm going to say Eskimo Cat. Eskimo Cat. Holding, I'll be very specific, holding a snow shovel in a snowstorm. And we'll see, being very specific, very direct, if this works at all. My feeling is it's not going to be a very good image. Only because not all AI bots are created to be as equally as talented or easy to use. And that's why, you talk to people about AI art and they misunderstand where it comes from, how it works, how it operates. And they get very frustrated when they try to go use an AI art bot and they get, a result back like this. And they say, what do you see in it? How do you spend your day doing AI art when you get results like this? So we edited this, right? Snow shovel. And we added Eskimo Cat holding a snow shovel in a snowstorm, and we get the exact same image back. Now, that's frustrating. It infuriates me on an artistic level that I find sort of unmanageable. But these are the lessons we have to learn together, that these AI bots, some are really great, some are not so great. The difference between, one chat engine and another chat engine can be astonishing and very interesting. Oh, I saw Jen Marie said perfect answer. Thank you so much, Jenny. Well, this has been a wonderful day. We've had lots of time together, talked about garbage, talked about water, talked about our cell phone usage, we talked about the Astor Place Cube, and we did a little bit of artwork together. And there's more to do, more to come next time we're together. So for now, I say thank you, goodbye, see you soon. I'll put all these links we talked about today on our Discord server. I will see you again. Bye. Thank you for coming. See you later.